Hi everyone! We have now finished all renovations, so we are once and for all tackling our small, narrow London garden and turning it into a little slice of tropical paradise. Hiring professionals to help us with the foundations and patios and designing ourselves a grassless, biodiverse habitat that's perfect for us, our dog and the wildlife around us. Yay! The garden project is starting. I am so excited for this because it really is the final piece to the puzzle of our renovation and whole year long trying to make our house look cute. And it's funny because I actually thought once the garden office was built, that was us done, and then you kind of really overlook the garden, and in itself it is quite a huge project. We want to make it feel spacious and enjoyable and peaceful and relaxing to be in. So we gotta get going. I'm gonna take you back to when it started. During our house refurb, our builders built this forward patio in our garden. It was to house the dining table and also have enough room for the bifold doors to stack and slide across the patio. I am trying to create different zones in this garden, and it's doable, even with a small garden like this. I'm gonna make it work. I've got to be really mindful of, first of all, where the sunlight falls in our garden. We are working with a north-facing garden. The sunlight in our garden is quite limited. We've also got to consider soil type, so what kind of plants can thrive in our garden. And also, I want to zone the garden, so different areas for different purposes. So obviously we have the garden office, which is not moving. That is permanent. And then we have the rest of the space to decide where we want the dining area, where we want the lounging area and the socializing. You know, I want this to be like the perfect hosting garden, but also the perfect relaxation, peaceful sanctuary for just Freddie and I, and Winnie, of course.
Gotta get worse before it gets better.
Today we are having a look at our garden and figuring out what we can do with this mess. This is said mess. So we've finally given up on Freddie's grass because we've now had 2 attempts at it. We seeded it in 2020 and it was beautiful, and then Winnie destroyed it. And then we put turf down last summer and the fox came and dug it all up for the worms, and it never really stuck. We're looking for pebbles and we're maybe going to pave a bit. We kind of have like no idea. This is like the real beginning, haven't really considered anything. Be in it for a while, figure out what works, where our furniture can go, and design it around that. That is Winnie trying to get into next door, where she prefers. Winnie, come back, she's not in. Good girl. I set out drawing the garden. I did so many drawings of pretty much the exact same thing. We knew we wanted this square-shaped patio in the middle, then also want to incorporate curves in some way. I just found it quite difficult to really try and figure out how that was all going to work, considering I have zero prior experience to designing a garden. I spent a lot of time reading up on garden design. I went on Pinterest. I will share my garden Pinterest board. I also watched every episode of Your Garden Made Perfect, and I also bought a couple of books and read up on garden design for small gardens. This is a really lovely book. There's like beautiful inspiration. The gardens in here are like completely my vibe. Modern rustic, which is my favourite style, along with mid-century, obviously. At the start, it tells you how to figure out your garden style. So my garden style, after taking the quiz, was organic modern. So then it lists out how to create an organic modern look. I think that was really helpful because it's really easy to see beautiful photos and think, I want to create that. But it's actually understanding how to create that. It's that balance of creating rustic and modern and greenery all together. Now I know the theme I'm going for, I can start sourcing products that look good in the garden, bearing in mind that we are already 100% keeping all the furniture that we've had for the last 3 years in our garden. And bearing in mind that I'm working to such short lead times here that I was very restricted in what materials I could order. My father-in-law drew our garden to scale on tracing paper, and then he photocopied it and made me multiple copies so I can doodle and try and figure out a plan of our garden space. Got my to scale ruler, so I do 1 to 50, which is the scale he's done on here. What I was trying to do was, with these mini doodles, figure out what curve looks best in the garden. We've got the 3 patios and they're all like squares and rectangles, so it's sort of straight edges, very angular. So I just wanted a little bit of softness to be added back in, not just in like the soft landscaping and the plants and stuff, but also in curved edging, round pebbles, and that should help with softening the garden look. We have made the decision to remove the path, which we spent weeks of all these different drawings going around how we could keep the path, and it doesn't work. And we figured, you know, we've got the builders in, it didn't actually cost us any more in the feet for them to remove it. Our builder priced up laying a centre patio, and within that cost, that was the removal of the bricks. And this is my final design. What I'm trying to do here is create this desire line between here and here that kind of has to go through the main patio without you tripping over the furniture. We're bringing the borders out on either side so that there's more plants in and around the area. I want greenery and I want soft lines. Just looking at where that sun is positioned right now, and it is on the office and not in the area of garden where we're moving our patio furniture. Our patio at the back used to be such a great sun spot, but we could only put the office in that location in our garden, so we're moving the furniture. I'm hoping it's because this is a winter sun, and maybe in the summer it's a little bit different. Today is the day that our builders come back. I'm so excited, and Winnie, when she realizes, is gonna be so excited. She is obsessed with our builder. So we've gone with Ginger Dog Homes again to do our garden. They built our house. They are gonna be building a patio in our garden. It's actually way more work than I thought it was gonna be, but it's gonna take a week. I can do a week, like we've done a whole year. So Winnie, where's Michael? Should we see him? Me and Winnie are gonna go have a little look. Okay, so they've dug up the path, it is gone, and they've started digging all the foundations for where they're going to be pouring the concrete tomorrow. So as you can see here, this is going to be the patio for the office, and then behind me here is the main square patio in the middle of our garden. Yeah. Concrete went down and we've just left it to dry over the weekend. So we've got this is 3 by 3 meters here, and then this is a 5 meter by 1.5 in front of the office, just a kind of little stoop to get in and out of the shed and the office and stuff. And then we're gonna be doing path here. So I've just started laying out the block paving that I picked up at B&Q the other day. Instead of doing like an actual full solid path, we're going to do like stepping stones, then we're going to do gravel or pebble around it. So I'm just trying to play with layouts at the moment and see what works. The next thing I need to decide is we do the stepping stones connected like this, either just like 2 connected, then a bit of a gap, and then another 2 connected, or whether we leave them as separate along the path. That's what I've got to decide. I can actually show you now what I meant by creating that desire line on the garden design. This is the single door that we use with the bifolds, and this is Freddie's office door, and I am trying to create a nice flow between the two using the little stepping stones to get back here. Fences have just arrived and they've got a crane and they're just dumping them in the street, and then my builder has just arrived and he's carrying them into the alley, and Winnie's just noticed that he's here and she's losing it. Pop it. No, you'll see him in a minute, okay? She loves him so much. This fence here is falling down. It got really damaged in the storm in early February, and it is looking quite tired, isn't it?
And also over here, one of the posts is fallen out. So the fence has so much movement in it. Look at that, that's not great. So ripping it up and putting in a new one. So fence is currently down and skip has just arrived, so they're taking all of these, putting them in the skip. Unfortunately, we have no reusable purpose for this very rotten broken wood. Once all of this is cleared, they are going to start laying the tiles. Freddie's been upstairs working all day, so he's just come down to have a look at the fences. Come and have a look, Fred.
Wow. Fresh?
Yeah, looking so fresh.
That is it from me. We have had such a successful first 2 days of the garden project. The foundations have been dug and the concrete has been poured, and it's going to set over the weekend, and my builders will be back on Monday to continue their work. And I will see you next time with another video. Bye.